Well, hi everyone. I'm Kat Corbett. This is K-Rock to the Rescue presented by Mercedes-Benz. Today we're going to talk about what to do if you find kittens. And I have Executive Director from Best Friends Los Angeles Society. We have Jennifer Pimentel. Welcome.
Hi, Kat. Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, we love what you do. We've worked with, Best Friends a lot. And I think, it's funny. I see randomly, usually like at least once a month, someone who's found an animal somewhere, like a puppy. And they're like, what do I do? So this is perfect. So what do we do?
Yeah, it's a tough question. As passionate humans, you see an animal in need, your first instinct is to go and help them. And what we're really trying to do with kittens is, and the community is really help them understand that when they find kittens outside, that it's not always the best idea to take them in and actually bring them to the shelter. A lot of really well-meaning people do that thinking that that's the best thing to do, but by doing that, you're actually potentially putting them in more danger.
I've heard that because a lot of times, like the mums will leave them in what they think is a secure place to go out and get food and come back. That's why they're not together at the time. So removing them obviously would be a bad thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Mom has to go and find food and forage for food too. So sometimes when you find kittens outside, it really could mean that the mom is not very far away. So what we're encouraging people to do is to definitely monitor the kittens if they find that they're without a mom. And you can actually wait as long as 4 to 6 hours, sometimes even longer than that. And if the kittens appear healthy, have round, full bellies, and are not making a ton of noise, then it's more than likely that mom is going to be around. Now, if you've waited that amount of time and you haven't seen mom and the kittens look like they might be sick or injured or that they're in need of help, that's where we're really asking Angelinos to step in and become that kitten's hero by rescuing them themselves.
Now, how do you know, I think a lot of us, if we saw kittens out somewhere, they're so exposed and you're thinking, oh my God, anybody could come along or, a bird or something. So how... are there things to look for? Like I would see that, and that's my first inclination, be like, oh my God, they're so vulnerable. What do I do? Do I build an enclosure? Do I just walk away and like look at it from afar? Do I, what? These are the a lot of us are thinking.
So not quite yet. Building an enclosure is probably in steps 2 and 3, but love that you're thinking that way. Mom moves them around all over the place and she really does know what's best for them. So it's best to not necessarily hover around what we would call the nest, but just keeping an eye out. Maybe you're able to keep an eye on them from the comfort of your own home or inside of your house. Maybe you want to pop up a chair and, watch them from a distance, but it's really important to not hover around because most cats that are outdoors, a lot of them can be under socialized. And so you wouldn't want mom to not come back because of your presence.
Great. Okay. So keep your distance. Do not pick them up and move them. Monitor from afar and for hours, wait to see if mom comes back, which could be said up to 6 hours, maybe even more. What happens if they, if there is a dire need, if there looks like there's an injury, as far as like transporting, what would be the ideal situation?
Yeah, so that's where you could really step up. And, through COVID-19, we've seen so many community members step up and support their shelters and support the animals that are in their community. And so what you could do is if you find kittens that are truly have been abandoned or are sick or injured, is take them into your care. So if you can't care for them yourself, you can also try to network them amongst, other friends and colleagues and things like Nextdoor. We see that all of the time. But if you do have the capacity to help and rescue them, we have a lot of really cool curated resources that we have just officially launched on nkla.org/kittens. And we have everything that you need to learn how to identify how old they are, how to care for them, if they are in need of being bottle fed, all the way through what to do and how to find spay neuter resources, and actually all the way through to getting them adopted. So as part of that, that, we also have a hotline that we launched, which you can reach us in 3 different ways. You can call us on the phone, you can send us an email, and you can also fill out a form to let us know how urgent your situation is. And someone from our team, we have a lot of kitten experts, which is probably no surprise on our team. They'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours to help you through the situation. You know, we recognize that this is really a community issue and that we require a community solution. Last year, we saw an increase in intake of about 20% kittens coming to the city shelters. And so if everybody just is able to rescue kittens when they find them and you know, be able to care for them, then we could really make a dent in shelter euthanasia.
Okay, so to repeat, don't touch them for hours. Make sure that the mom is not coming back. If for some reason they are distressed or injured, and you know, you're going to bring them in, we're going to post the number so people can call.
Yes.
I think that's before you move, before you start going where I went, which is like building a condo for the cat outside, you know, the kittens. Like before you go down that road, call the numbers that we have below and check first what you should do. And I know that we've actually covered your kitten bottle feeding, which was quite incredible. I think it was like 2 months ago you guys were doing that for kitten season,
yeah.
which was really incredible. What happens if, you know, the worst case scenario that somebody, you know, sees kittens who need help, they cannot bring them into their own home.
Yeah.
What should they do? Where should they bring them?
Yeah, there's always going to be those situations where you simply can't help, and that's okay too. You know, we want to be as supportive as possible, whether you can care for them or whether you just need next steps. Most of the shelters in Southern California are still accepting intake for sick and injured animals, and that's absolutely the right thing to do. And if you contact us via our hotline, we can get you in touch with your local animal control and guide you on those next steps.
What do kittens eat in the bottle? Like, what's that? What's the food?
Oh man, it's a kitten milk replacer. We call it KMR, and it is something that is especially formalized for kittens. And if folks, you know, want to get involved in bottle feeding and they want to help these kittens, we can also be a resource to get you to the supplies to hold you over for the next 24 to 48 hours as well.
And also, folks, to you know, if they want to donate. Because I know you always need resources. You always need food. I've donated in the past, and right now it's the funds as opposed to showing up with donations because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So you have the link on your website as well. I think we'll put that in the post for this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, monetary donations are always great, but also from our Amazon wish list so that we're able to support the community, and rescuing cats is always well needed. Yeah.
Well, you know, this is definitely a reminder and an eye-opener to just leave nature alone.
Yes.
It usually will take care of itself. Yeah. We're the last resort. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget because they just want to help. And so I'm glad to have you on today, Jennifer, to remind myself to not do anything. You know, when it comes, is that the same thing for dogs? Do you think is that the same thing for puppies?
You know, dogs are a little different. We actually don't tend to see a lot of puppies that are just like born under somebody's tree or, you know, under.
Right.
So mostly what we see is cats, and kittens are actually the biggest barrier that we have in our shelters in Los Angeles. You know, puppies and dogs, their intake continues to decline and plateau, but intake for cats and kittens does get more and more every season.
Right.
So it's that really is the biggest barrier right now is cats and kittens.
Jennifer, thank you so much. Yeah. This has been, like I said, a nice reminder. And we all just want to do the right thing. And I think right now it's like everybody's just panicked. Everybody's in panic mode. So what we all need to do is relax. And kittens will probably, you know, be handled by their mom who's out hunting for food. So
yeah, and you know, right, and we can really be there to help them and make sure that they are spayed and neutered once they're old enough, and that we can really stop the cycle. That's really important. So thank you
so much for being part of K-Rock to the Rescue. I love that we can do this program. I love that we can help, you know, let people know what's up. And this is, like I said, a great reminder for all of us who desperately want to do something nice, but could possibly be doing the wrong thing.
Yes, and we're here to help. Thank you.